Imagine you do everything right. You wake up early, drag yourself to the gym while everyone else is still sleeping, you count every single calorie like it's your full-time job, you say no to the cake at your friend's birthday, you drink enough water to fill a swimming pool, and for a few weeks, it actually works. The scale goes down, your clothes feel looser, and for the first time in a long time, you start to believe that maybe this time is different. Maybe this time you finally cracked the code. And then, without any warning, the week creeps back, slowly at first, then all at once. And you're standing in the mirror again, right back where you started, wondering what on earth went wrong. Here's what nobody is telling you, and it's going to change everything you thought you knew about your own body. This isn't your fault. That sentence might sound like something people say to make you feel better, but what I'm about to share with you is backed by real science, and it completely dismantles the lie that willpower is the reason you keep failing. Studies consistently show that 9 out of 10 people who try to lose weight through restrictive dieting eventually gain it all back, often with extra pounds on top. 9 out of 10. That's not a small margin of error. That is an overwhelming pattern that tells us something critical, which is that the approach itself is broken. Your brain doesn't know you're trying to look good for summer. It doesn't understand your goals or your motivation. What it does understand, after 200,000 years of human evolution, is that losing body fat looks exactly like starvation. And when it thinks you're starving, it fights back with everything it has. Your metabolism slows down, your hunger hormone called ghrelin surges to almost unbearable levels, and your body becomes obsessed with one mission, storing every calorie it can find as fat. You are quite literally fighting your own biology, and biology always wins. So if diets don't work, and willpower runs out, and your own body is working against you, then what actually works? That's the question I want to answer today, and the answer is hiding in one of the most fascinating places on Earth. Japan has one of the lowest obesity rates in the entire modern world, sitting at just 4.5% of the population. Meanwhile, in Brazil, the numbers are deeply alarming. According to data from the Ministry of Health, more than 24% of Brazilian adults are living with obesity. And when you include people who are overweight, that number explodes to over 60% of the entire adult population. Our obesity rate is 5 times higher than Japan's. 5 times. And the part that should make you stop and think is this. The Japanese are not surviving on salads and protein shakes. They eat rice, noodles, and bread every single day. Only 3% of the Japanese population regularly goes to a gym. 3%. Meanwhile, in Brazil, gyms are everywhere. Gym culture is booming, and yet the number on the scale for our population just keeps climbing. The difference isn't genetic. It isn't luck. It's something the researchers call lifestyle design, and it's a collection of deeply embedded habits that the Japanese follow so naturally they don't even realize they're doing it. These aren't extreme measures. There's no fasting for 20 hours a day, no cutting out entire food groups, no punishing workout routines. These are small, quiet, almost invisible habits that have been woven into their culture for generations, and they create a body and a mind that naturally resist excess weight. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 of these habits, and I'm going to show you exactly how to start applying them to your real, everyday Brazilian life starting today. By the time you finish watching this, you'll understand your body in a way that no diet ever taught you to. The first habit is about rewiring how you actually taste food. Japan has a concept called shokuiku, which is food education, and it begins in preschool. From the time Japanese children are small, they learn where their food comes from, how it affects their bodies, and why real ingredients matter. School meals are made fresh every single day with vegetables, whole foods, and balanced portions. There are no vending machines full of chips and soda in Japanese schools. In Brazil, the reality couldn't be more different. Research from IBGE shows that consumption of ultra-processed foods and sugary drinks among young Brazilians has doubled in the last 2 decades. We've been trained from childhood to love salt, sugar, and artificial flavors packed into processed snacks, and that training runs deep. But here's the hopeful part. Neuroscience has proven that your sense of taste is not fixed. It is plastic, meaning it can be changed. The same way you learn to enjoy bitter black coffee or the bite of a cold beer as an adult, you can retrain your brain to crave real food.
The key is gradual exposure. You don't overhaul your entire diet overnight. Instead, you replace just one industrialized snack per week with a piece of fruit or something real and whole. Week by week, your taste buds recalibrate. The artificial stuff starts to taste too intense and overwhelming, and you genuinely begin to enjoy food that actually nourishes you. The second habit is one of the most quietly powerful ideas I've ever come across, and it comes from Okinawa, the Japanese island famous for producing some of the longest-living people in the world. The concept is called Hara Hachi, and it simply means eat until you are 80% full. That's it. Stop before you feel completely stuffed. In Brazil, we grew up hearing things like finish everything on your plate or don't waste food. And those messages, though well-intentioned, have completely disconnected us from our own internal hunger signals. Science explains exactly why this matters so much. There is a delay of approximately 20 minutes between when your stomach is full and when your brain actually receives that message. Your hypothalamus, the part of your brain that registers fullness, is still catching up while you're reaching for that second helping. If you eat until you feel totally satisfied in the moment, you've already eaten too much by the time the signal arrives. By stopping when you feel like you could eat just a little more, you naturally avoid 300 to 400 extra calories per meal, and those are precisely the calories your body converts into stored fat. This single shift with no dieting, no restriction, just better timing, can be transformative. The third habit is about something more powerful than your willpower, and that's your environment. Behavioral psychology has repeatedly shown that your surroundings make more of your daily decisions than your conscious mind does. In Japan, the food that's conveniently available on every corner is fresh rice, bento boxes packed with vegetables, fish, and clean ingredients. In Brazil, our version of convenience is the bakery fryer, the fried pastry, the buttered roll, the greasy snack that fills you up instantly and costs almost nothing. Willpower is like a battery. It starts the day at full charge and drains with every decision, every stressful meeting, every frustrating conversation. By the time evening hits, it's almost empty, and that's when you find yourself eating everything in the kitchen. The solution isn't to want it less. The solution is to redesign your environment so the right choice is the easy choice. Put washed and sliced fruit at eye level in your fridge. Move the cookies and chips to the highest shelf in the deepest corner of your pantry, somewhere that requires real effort to reach. When something is out of sight and inconvenient, your energy-saving brain will often skip it entirely, not because you're disciplined, but because the path of least resistance now leads somewhere better. The fourth habit will shock you when you see the numbers. The average Brazilian consumes around 80 grams of sugar every single day. The World Health Organization recommends a maximum of 50 grams, and ideally no more than 25. That means we are consuming more than 3 times the ideal amount of sugar every day, and most of it is completely invisible to us, hiding in sauces, juices, yogurts, bread, and drinks we don't even consider to be sweet. In Japan, sugar is treated like a seasoning, something subtle used to enhance a dish, not the foundation of every meal and snack. Even the packaging reflects this difference. A standard soda can in Japan is around 250 milliliters, sometimes as small as 160. In Brazil, 350 milliliters is the default, and many fast food chains offer free refills on top of that. Excess sugar constantly floods your brain with dopamine, the feel-good chemical, and over time your brain adapts by becoming less sensitive to it, which means you need more and more sugar to feel the same pleasure. But the reverse is also true. Studies have shown that after just 2 months of reducing sugar intake, people begin to experience fruit as intensely sweet and find industrial desserts almost sickeningly overwhelming. Your body adjusts to the standard you consistently give it, so raise the standard. The fifth habit is something most people completely overlook, and that's the rhythm of when you eat, not just what you eat. The Japanese maintain a remarkably consistent schedule. Breakfast before 9 in the morning, lunch around 1 in the afternoon, dinner before 8 at night. That predictability is not just cultural preference, it has deep biological consequences. In Brazil, our eating patterns are chaotic by comparison. We skip breakfast because we're rushing out the door. We grab whatever's closest at lunchtime, and then we sit down to a massive meal late at night right before bed, when our metabolism is at its slowest. When your body has no reliable feeding schedule, your hunger hormones become dysregulated. Your body doesn't know when the next meal is coming, so it shifts into survival mode and stores more of everything you eat as fat. But when you eat at consistent, predictable times, your hormones settle into a rhythm. Your metabolism relaxes and becomes more efficient. Your cravings reduce dramatically because your body trusts that nourishment is coming and stops panicking. You don't have to be perfect, but moving towards consistency in your meal timing is one of the most underrated changes you can make. The seventh and final habit completely flips the idea of what exercise is supposed to look like, and this one is incredibly freeing. Japanese people are not obsessed with going to the gym. What they are is simply and naturally active throughout their entire day. They walk to train stations, they take stairs instead of elevators without thinking twice, they ride bicycles for errands, and use their legs